Glitter Gang, and happy Thursday. It's Thursday, May 13th. This is the afternoon scrap chat. We're still working on the book journal, and right now we're going to be working on making a I don't know. We're going to make a thing. We're going to make a thing. Aren't you glad I provided all that information? We're making the inserts. Yeah, okay. My brain is coming back online. We're making the inserts for the book journal. Yes, for the book journal. And this is a grid paper that I made a while back. And what I'm going to do is I've made it, right now it's, I think, 6 inches by 13 inches is what I think it is. Yeah, right now it's 6 inches by 13 inches. And so I just need to cut 1/4 of an inch off it, really. So, okay, before I cut it, before I bring it over. So I need it, because I need it to be by 12 3/4. All right. And actually, I'm going to cut it just a scooch shy of 12 3/4. Because I actually want it to be, I want it to be 6 by 12.5. Or, well, no, because I need to put the months on it. Hold on. All right, so right now it's, oh my gosh. What to do? Okay, all right, I have an idea. Okay, so let's get rid of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make some lines, just thin little lines, to mark off where 6 1/4 is, so that I know where 6 1/4 is by 12 1/4. And then I'm going to merge all these shapes together so it's just a rectangle, and then I'm going to pull off the grid so you can see that I made a rectangle there. That rectangle is going to do 2 things. One, it's going to help me as I build know where the actual parameters are that I'm working in, but it's also going to show me where to work. And I wonder if I can. So now I'm gonna, I said I was gonna do months. Let's do, should I do this in black or gray? So we need January. Let's do 24. February. March. And April, because we're going to do 4 per month. Okay. And then this is 12 3/4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that by 3 in my fraction calculator and figure out how big each month's section should be. So I'm going to divide 12 3/4 by 3. And it's 4 1/4, so that's nice and easy. So what that means is that, you know, put January at the top. And then February, we have 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 1/4 inch. So put February right under the quarter. And then with March, we have 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, and then we'll put March under the quarter. And then, wait, I need to divide it by 4. Just kidding. It's 12 3/4 divided by 4 because there's 4 months. All right, so it's 3 3/16. Great. 3/16 is pretty close to a quarter, so I'm probably just going to do it as a quarter. So they all just need to come up an inch, basically. All right, so February, 1, 2, 3 1/4. And then 1, 2, 3 1/4. All right, so there's everybody. And now the question is, what do we want to put on each section? Do you want to have dividers between the sections? Like we could put a line, thicker lines. And I'm going to zoom in on January so that we can see a little bit better. All right, so for starters, you know, we can just put lines. And you could just have blank lines. And then every time I make a line, I'm going to merge them so that when I duplicate them, I now have okay, like twice as many. And then I can merge these two. So when I duplicate it, okay, and then I'll just make another one of that. I think that's the right size. All right. And then once I have the correct size, I can merge all of them into one thing. So now I just need to duplicate it once, twice, 3 times. And then I can zoom out and I can grab this and pull it down to April. And then pull down March. And pull down February. All right, so let me get rid of the grid. Ugh. Oops. Let me get rid of the grid. And I'm going to flatten the image just so it's on a white background so it's easier to see. All right, so clearly I overcorrected with April. So let's flatten it again and see. All right, yeah, now we have January, February, March, April. And so this is just going to be a place for you to write what you read every month is what I'm thinking. So, and then for the cards, we would need to do, the cards would be where you would put like the title, the author, whatever. So yeah, okay. Okay, but I don't think I want lines. I think I'd rather have dots. So that's where I want to come in here with this grid paper. I have a little grid here, and I think I want to use it instead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop this and make it 6 inches wide by 12.25 inches wide. No, by 12.25. Let's do 12.25 by 5.75, and that way we have a 1/4 inch all the way around. Now I'm going to do a blank file that's the exact size I need, which is 6.25 by 12.75 inches. And actually, let me do a new one of that that's not on a transparent background. Let's make the background white just so it's easier to see. All right, so I'm now going to grab my grid and I'm going to just drop it onto this. All right, so this is a grid I made before. I'm going to remove the actual grid that Photoshop uses so you can see this is the grid that I created, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make little squares, I think, for the January, February, etc. So what I want to do is I want to figure out what color this is. And it's some kind of gray. I thought so. Okay. Copy. All right. So now what I want to do is I'm going to pull my January over and I'm going to just kind of place it where I think I want it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a white rectangle. Oh, okay, my bad. All right, so I have it locked to square, so I could not make a rectangle. So I just want to make a rectangle, you know, that's kind of gonna be a good enough space for the January. I'm going to duplicate that space 1, 2, 3. Actually, no. All right. So now that I have that, this white square, I'm going to make a gray rectangle that's ever so slightly bigger than it. What? Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the white one on top of the gray one. And I'm going to line them up with each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm highlighting both of them and then I'm centering them on each other by pressing down here in this alignment tray, the center and the middle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge them. And I'm going to not merge them. I'm going to lock them together. Then I'm going to duplicate them. 1, 2, and I need 4 of them. Okay. Oh, come on. I don't know why I can't make a third one. All right, I think I just did. Yeah. Okay, so now I can move my months on top of all of them. January, February, March, and last but not least, April. All right. So these are all linked together. Now I can move them. These are all linked together. Now I can move them together. I'm clicking February, holding down Shift, and then clicking the white box. And then hitting this little lock on the layer next to the icon. And doing the same thing with January and all of that. So, okay. So now I can move these into place. I'm going to bring the grid back for that so I can see the grid. So we have January, and then we need to do, what is it? It's like 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's like 2. Luckily, you guys don't have to do this if you have the archives. All right, is that about the same? No, April is a little short. Let's just go. 1. one. Okay, so April has an extra line. I'm going to just move it so that this is a little bit more balanced. It's going to be close enough. Okay, so now let's get rid of the grid so we can see what it really looks like. So that's what it looks like. So I will not put the full Photoshop file in the folder because this is not a standard font. And so it'll get messed up. But I will only put like a JPEG in the folder. So yeah, I won't be putting the full Photoshop file in the folder. Just whatever JPEG I make. So I'm going to make one. All right. So here we have this. So let me just, I'm going to save this in digital paper. Let's call it book journal 1-4 save. Okay. So now all we have to do is change this to May. Well, May, April, May, June. Now I can't remember the months of the year, so that's cool. July, August. Okay. And then save as, and we'll save it as 5-8. September, hopefully September fits. Yes, it does. Thank goodness. September, October, November, December. Okay. I just need to like unlink. I need to unlink November so I can move November. It's the only one that's kind of funky. All right, save as 9 through 12. Okay. All right, so that's done. So we have those three, and this will be what we put on those long sections in the middle. And that will be the like, just for you to write whatever notes you want to write. Like, do you want to write some stats down about like how many of what type of each book? Like, this is free form, you know, for whatever you want to do with it. This is just your monthly notes, okay? And so now we're going to make the tag, the thing that'll go on the tag. So this is the one where I saw that there was some chatting going on about adding like scissors or stars or things like that. That's what I think we'll do now. So we're going to make the tag, what's going to go on the tags. So right now, the things will hold, I think they hold something that's 5 inches. I think the holes, the envelopes, the pockets are 5 inches. Yeah, they're 5 inches. So let's do, and their their tallness is 8. So they're kind of like 5 by 8. So let's do let's make the cardstock part of the tag 4.5 by 7.5. And so the not cardstock part would be, would be 4.25 by 7.25. So we need something that's 4.25 by 7.25. Okay. All right. So here we go. Here's our 4.25 by 7.25. Now what we can do is we can grab our grid paper. on, just grab it. Okay. And I can drop it on here. Okay. And so now I have something that's 4 1/4 by 7 1/4, and it's covered in the grid. All right, so what do we want to do? So you want to do you want me to put a hole so you know where to punch your hole? Let me do that. So I'm going to do a 1/4 inch hole because most people have a 1/4 inch hole punch. And what we want to do with our 1/4 inch hole is I'm going to put it a 1/2 inch down from the top. And then I'm just going to make sure that it's centered side to side. Oops, wrong center. Go to the top, go in the middle. Okay, so now I just need to bring it back down. All right, and this will just make it easy for you to know where to punch your hole. You won't have to measure. And then you'll just use your hole punch on the, on the tag sides. And you'll just chop off some of the grid. You know what I mean? Okay. So that's a good start. So do you guys want stars, or do you want scissors or bookmarks? I was thinking stars, because then you could fill in the stars, and I would just do like an empty star. But that's up to you, because I think I actually have a star shape that I can use somewhere in here. But we can look at the different shapes that I have, and maybe something will jump out at us. Let's look at banners and see if there's something that looks like a bookmark. I don't know, there's not really something that looks like a bookmark. This is kind of funny. It's like a POW. It's called Boom, actually. It looks like this. What do you think about that instead of a star? I mean, there's also a star, but it's not as fun as the Boom. I'm just going to click on all and rapidly scroll through it, looking for something that really looks like a star, or something that would be fun to fill in. We have light bulbs. We do have scissors. Scissors you couldn't fill in, you'd have to circle the scissors. Oh, here's the star I used last time. This is what I used last time. There's also this that's like a medallion, and this that's the scalloped circle. Oh, okay. So we're going to go with stars. And then if they're undeserving, we're going to do something else. Okay. All right. That's fine. You guys love, love the boom. All right. I'll let you vote. So you're choosing between the star and the boom. So let me get rid of the other ones. Okay. So it's the so you're choosing between the boom, this one, which is the boom, and this, which is the star. So if you want the boom, which I think would be more fun to color in the boom than the star, personally. But if you want the boom, then type a 1 in the chat. And if you want the star, then type a 2 in the chat. If you want the boom, then type a 1 in the chat. And if you want the star, then type a 2 in the chat. All right, so the boom is much more popular. So we're going to get rid of the star. Okay. All right. So the only thing I want to do is I want to make the center of the boom white. So I need to, I need just to mess with it a little bit. I need to, I'm going to drag it onto this. We'll get it sized a little bit more appropriately. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself a white layer. I'm going to merge this shape with the white layer. I'm going to crop it pretty small. So I'm going to crop it. I'm going to leave it kind of decently sized because I want you to have plenty of room to color it in. All right, so now that I have it like so, what I can do is I can use the magic wand to select the outside and delete it. So that now when I bring it over, it should have a white center. So that it will cover, no, what happened? That didn't work. Okay. Oops. All right, what have I done? Back it up, back it up, back it up. Okay. I think I can do, I've got it figured out now. Now it's going to come over solid. No, it's not coming over solid. What is the problem? Oh, there we go. Never mind. It's technically, it was underneath the grid. That's why it was looking like it, like it wasn't. Okay, so I'm going to actually have to start naming these layers because it's getting confusing. So this is the hole. This is the grid. And this is the boom. Okay. All right, so we got everybody. All right, so boom. So boom, we need how many booms? 5 booms. So we need to duplicate 1, 2, 3, 4, and that gives us 5 booms. All right, so there's our 5 booms right at the bottom so that you can color them in. So I'm going to merge all the booms into one. So now there is now, it's now not boom, but booms. Okay. So now we can move the booms all together as a group if we want to. I don't think we need to, but if we want to, we can. But we'll leave them at the bottom for now. All right. So now we have our booms to color in. We've got to now just put, you know, we need stuff like title, whatever, whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over one of these tiles for, and this can be where we put like title, author, we need date, and what I might do is do title and author together and then just make the font a little smaller. There we go. And what if I did title and author and then put little hashtags, little hash marks underneath it for you to write the date? So like, I mean, I only need to do the 2 hash marks too, right? Because then there you go. So it would be title, author, and date. How's that for title, author, and date? And then you could write that all out here. And then what else? You want like something that says my thoughts, review? What do you want the other box to say? I'm going to say review, I think. And then I'm going to change the font size of review to match the font size of title and author. And I'm not going to give title and author a ton of space because it's 1, 2, 3. You have plenty of room to write there. So I'm going to give you the most space for review. That way you have this whole thing to review, and then here's your rating at the bottom. What do you think? Do you like it? Is this good as a tag? You want to drop title and author down a little bit so it's not crowding the... Yeah, I like it a little further down from the whole. All right, there you go. So we've got title and author and date. So you fill in the date here, you write the title and author there, review, and I think that's all we really need. And then you'll put this on one side of the tag, and then on the other side of the tag you can put the picture of the cover of the book. So I think this works pretty well. So we'll call this book journal tags. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do in terms of what I'm going to put in the archives for this. I'm going to put the, I'm going to put this in there as a PDF on an 8.5 by 11. It'll have like 4 of them, however many that'll fit on there. I think it'll fit 2, maybe 3. So I'll do an 8.5 by 11 PDF with either 2 or 3 of these so that you can print it off on a normal printer. I'll do a 13 by 9 full of these so you can print it off if you have a wide format printer. And then with this one, I'll do 13 by 19 of these where you'll be able to get, you know, 2 or 3 on there. I'll also do it on half and half on an 8.5 by 11 so you can join them together if you have a normal printer. And that way, and they'll all be PDFs, so it'll all print out the exact right size in black and gray. And I think that will do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end class now. I'm going to make sure that all gets added to the archives before tonight's class. So I'll work on that now. So it'll be there for tonight's class. I'll print all mine out. So tonight we'll be working on the cover and the wrapper. Okay? We'll be working on the cover and the wrapper. And I think we're pretty close to being done with this project. And we'll be back to the box set album remastered pretty shortly. So thanks so much for joining me. As always, I'm not an expert on Photoshop. I just stumble my way into things that look okay. So, you know, hopefully this works for you. Thanks so much for stopping by. Please check the rest of this playlist if you're watching on YouTube to see the final project come together. And for those of you overseas who are headed to dinner or headed to bed, have a wonderful evening and a great weekend. And the rest of you, I'll see you tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern USA time, which is 5 hours from now. So I'll be back in 5 hours. Live 9 p.m. Eastern USA time on Thursday, May 13th. So thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye now.